Oh, hi, it's me, the Mattman, with You've Been Deleted Gaming, and today I want to talk to you about the most brilliantly beautiful natural scenes in games. Scenery, that is. Let's begin. For the first scene, I want you to imagine what it's like walking across a nice, clean country road, breathing in that clean country air. You can feel the crunch of the ground beneath your feet. Then you look around and you see there's a horse next to you, a horse that's been your steadfast traveling companion throughout this whole adventure. That's right, I'm talking about none other than Red Dead Redemption 2 specifically. In Red Dead Redemption 2, you play as Arthur Morgan as he quests across the American Wild West. But it's not quite so wild anymore. You see, civilization is starting to crop up more and more. Laws are encroaching on the land. And Arthur Morgan and the Dutch Van der Linde gang, they're trying to outrun this and keep their lifestyle being free outlaws, essentially. This game features beautiful vistas, great mountain environments, and more horse testicles than you can shake a stick at. No, I'm serious. Now, what could be more beautiful than experiencing the lush American wilderness than running around as Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2? For the second spot on this list, we really need to talk about the future. And this isn't just the future of gaming, or even the future of what's going to happen in the next year. No, I want to talk about the far future, once humanity is long extinct, and what the world will look like. You don't have to envision that too much on your own, because you have the absolutely beautiful 2017 gem, Nier Automata. This game is absolutely gorgeous to look at, and it's fun to play too, with a fun and engaging combat system, perfected by Platinum Games, and of course the creative genius of Yoko Taro working on the game, building out and expanding on his story that he started with Nier Replicant and the recently remade Nier Replicant version 3. Blah, 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 a whole bunch of numbers. But what you need to think when you think of what will the world look like after humans are gone, Nier Automata is the perfect game to think of. You can see the collapsed buildings, the little remnants of society. You can see the abandoned shopping mall with ivy going up. And of course, spoiler alert here, you can even see what the very last human looks like by taking a look at Emil. It's crazy stuff. It's a brilliant game. Highly recommend you check it out. Let's move on to the next item in the list. Now, how can we talk about beautiful looking games without moving on and thinking about medieval settings? How could we not think of medieval settings? Well, I didn't forget about medieval settings, because if you want a beautiful medieval fantasy setting, I got The Witcher 3. This is an absolutely stunningly gorgeous game that, if I'm being totally honest, the landscape of the Netflix show The Witcher has not totally captured how beautiful this world really is. But when you're exploring the world in The Witcher 3, there are so many times when I'm riding around on Roach and I come across the top of a hill and I just see that beautiful expanse stretching out beyond, and I just stop and I stare and I think, wow, what can be better than that? Like, not only does it have amazing graphics, which, I mean, it holds up. The game came out a good number of years ago, and it still holds up today. But other than that, it just looks absolutely gorgeous. Even the creatures that you see in the game are all wonderfully detailed. Although you'll see a few glitches, the odd horse head poking through a wall, talking about you, Roach. It's still an absolutely gorgeous experience that honestly, if you want to ride around in the wilderness, what can you do but check out The Witcher 3? It's just that good. There's one game that I had to fight tooth and nail to make sure it included on this list. And no, it's not some game but you're looking at beautiful expanses and have a vast world to explore. It's small, it's compact, it's Judgment. Specifically, the first Judgment. I understand that Kamurocho appears in Lost Judgment. I haven't actually played it yet. Sorry. I'm going to. I'm working my way through the entire series. I'm working through Yakuza 6 now. With an honorable mention to Kiwami 2. Kiwami 2 was the... Well, I guess Yakuza 6 was the first game to use the new Dragon engine, and then Kiwami 2, and then Judgment, I think? But Judgment and Kiwami 2, the city is basically the same. Kiwami 2, it's more old school looking city, and of course Judgment is 2018, I think. Don't quote me on that. Oh god, they quoted me on that. But just look how beautiful it is. Look at the splendor of Millennium Towers sitting in the center. And then there's all the different districts of the city. You have the, it's an evolving city. If you've played each of the Yakuza games going up, you know the city like the back of your hand. You got Pink Street. You got, the names of the streets are escaping me, but you got them. And it's great. Just take a look. Look how great it looks. Look at Yagami walking down the street. Look at Kiryu. Look at Kiryu there, walking the street with Haruka. How do you not want to go to the city? Also, honorable mention for Yakuza Kiwami 2 for also including an equally detailed and remade Sotenbori. Because it is just chef's kiss. I love the Yakuza series. Check it out. And find more information about it if you'd like to. Moving on, a game that I think a lot of people may have slept on in terms of its beauty and gorgeous world is a little gem I like to call Gravity Rush 2. This is a game that honestly isn't the first thing that came to my mind when I was making this list, but the more I thought about it, it has everything. I mean, it has an emotional story, great animation, but more importantly, what this list is about, it has a great looking world with its kind of floating sections. It has the main city that you spend a lot of your time in at the start of the game. And then it has kind of like the upper level where the rich people live and hang out. And it has its own problems to deal with. Then, you got the lower level where all the more poor people are. But each of these areas is wonderfully unique. And you can find so many things to look at in them. It even has a section, if I'm remembering this game correctly, has a section where you go back to the area that you explored in the first Gravity Rush game, completely just redone and made to look good. And honestly, it's just a wonderful experience. I keep saying all these games are wonderful experiences, almost like I truly love video games. Who knows? But let's move on to the final entry in our list. I ask you, now that we're on the last entry in this list, how can we talk about beautiful video games without taking the minute to mention this absolute gem, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild? Now, this isn't a game that is graphically impressive. I mean, it is. It looks great. But considering the hardware it's on, it is an absolute masterpiece of a game. This game has so many different environments. It has snowy mountains, it has lava sections, it's got the vastness of the ocean, it's got plains, it's got a desert, it has everything. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and that beautiful cell shading, it blows my mind every time I play it. I'm running around, I'm like, oh, I'm going to kill all those macablins, ha ha ha, I'm going to jump on a horse, and then I just don't do any of that. I spend my time looking around and just gawking at how beautiful everything looks. It's great. Honorable mention, of course, to other games like Journey. No Man's Sky is a great looking game now. It It wasn't when it came out, but it's a great looking game now. And honestly, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. And we really appreciate you taking the time to look at our young channel. And I just want to say thank you. And it will help us out a ton if you could just go ahead and see that little subscribe button down there, right over, I think it's over there now, this other hand, right about here. Just give it a little clicky do. And that like button, just boop, give it a little click. It means a lot to us. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. And that leaves one thing left for me to say, and that's ba-da-da-ba-da-bye.